With a great zeal and enthusiasm, National Institute of Industrial Engineering and NITIE Avartan welcomes you all. A very good afternoon to Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe sir, Chairman of National Education Technology Forum. Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari sir, Director NITIE Mumbai. Professor Prof Iqbal sir, Dean Student Affairs, NITIE Mumbai. Professor V.B. Khanapure sir, Dean SRIC, NITIE Mumbai. Faculty members, industry delegates, officers, and the staff of NITIE, and the proud netizens. Today, NITIE presents Avartan 2022, a corporate crossroad. A warm welcome to the 23rd edition of our epic journey. In its illustrious legacy of over 2 decades, Avartan has witnessed many milestones, and it will mark another when one of the country's biggest business school fest gets live in the offline mode, again after being virtual for the last couple of years. Inspired by Udyog Pragati, National Institute of Industrial Engineering has been a center of excellence and innovation since 1963. Let us now quickly walk through the journey of series of events describing Lakshya and NITIE Avartan through a short video. I request the student coordinator to please play the video. This was really an engaging walk through the plethora of the flagship events under NITIE Avartan. Taking the event forward, भारतीय संस्कृति के अनुसार हर शुभ कार्य का आरंभ दीप प्रज्वलन विधि से किया जाता है. So I would like to invite all the dignitaries on the stage for the lamp lighting ceremony. I would like to request Professor Hema Datte ma'am to please join us on the stage. Now that the event is graced by the presence of the God, I would like to invite the dignitaries on the dais to honor the event. Now we have a quick tour of our sponsors and the partners for the event. I, on behalf of the entire NETI fraternity, would like to thank SBI, Canara Bank, ONGC, HPCL, NTPC, Ternity, Grammarly, and elsewhere for their support. On behalf of the entire NETI fraternity and Team Lakshya, I, Shruti Dandekar, feel privileged to welcome you all to the NITIE Lakshya Distinguished Leader Award 2022. NITIE Lakshya Distinguished Leader Award was initiated in recognition and appreciation of the achievements to those leaders in the country who changed the course of the wind and came out winning due to their exemplary vision and leadership. I now request Professor Prof. Iqbal Sir, Dean Student Affairs, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you so much. Warm greetings to all the distinguished guests. I welcome Honorable Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe Sir, Chairman, National Educational Technology Forum, Director Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari Sir, all deans, faculty members, officers, staff, and my dear students. Welcome to this Avartan 2022. NITIE celebrates its annual festival, NITIE Avartan, which combines the harmony between industry and academia. The prime objective of this festival is to provide much needed industry interface and to demonstrate the leadership competence among the students. I express my deep sense of pleasure and appreciation to Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe Sir for accepting our invitation to become the distinguished leader of this event. I welcome you, sir. The zenith of his achievements is inspirational, and NITIE salute you, sir, for your leadership and commitment. We eagerly wait to listen to you for your inspirational journey and becoming a distinguished leader, sir. I am sure the students will follow your footsteps to become the leader like you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I now request Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari Sir, Director NITIE, to introduce our esteemed guest of honor, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe Sir.
My respected Anil ji and senior faculty members, my colleagues, students and staff were here to witness this ceremony. I would like to say that my association with Professor Anil is as long as 10th July 1990. And when I first decided to prefer teaching profession, then we went to a place where there was only newly constructed buildings and there were no equipments. There were nothing, only up to 4th year, there was 6-year program and there was no concept of HOD there. It was the group leader and the place was Northeastern Regional Institute of Science and Technology. So Anilji was leading the department as a group leader and there were only 4 faculty members, and I joined as a 5th one. And you trust me, right from those very days, how to do the codal purchase procedure, a very specific term used in procuring the items, how to unload the truckload of machines so that truck can go in the night and install the lathe machine, milling machine, all the, you can say, carpentry shop equipments, fluid mechanics laboratory equipments, heat transfer laboratory equipments, all such development of the institute laboratory was carried under his leadership, and we were active partners. Not only this job we were doing, he was doing, and under his leadership we were doing, minimum 16 hours of teaching was there. So you are coming from one class, then going into the another class. And hardly any journal or any new material through which you can acquire knowledge was there. Only debate and discussions was the prime source of sharing the information. Among us, Anilji was from very premium institutions. He was PhD from IIT Bangalore. And एक हमारे यहाँ कहावत है ना कि सेवा परमो धर्म. So इस मानसिकता से प्रेरित होकर के अनिल जी उतना दूर, जबकि उस समय याद करिए कि जो लोग टीचिंग में हैं पुराने, हमारे श्रीवास्तव जी वगैरह, मतलब मनोज जी वगैरह बता सकते हैं, पहले ना इतना डिफ़िकल्ट नहीं था टीचिंग में जाना, खास करके मास्टर डिग्री पे जॉब मिल जाती थी. लेकिन अनिल जी पीएचडी करने के बाद भी अरुणाचल प्रदेश को चूज किए थे. वहाँ कोई दूसरा पर्पज़ नहीं था. पर्पज़ ये था कि यहाँ पे ऐसा इंस्टीट्यूट बनाना, लोगों के बीच में जाना. मैं इनको देखा सैटरडे संडे, ये लोकल जो हमारे मतलब वहाँ के ट्राइब के स्कूल होते थे, प्राइमरी स्कूल वगैरह, वहाँ जा कर के बच्चों को कभी कभी मैथ, कभी फिजिक्स का ज्ञान देते थे. वो सब स्पिरिट जब देखा मैंने तो मुझे लगा क्या कि कोई सिंपल पर्सनालिटी नहीं है, बड़े यूनिक व्यक्ति है. और तब से लेके अब तक मैंने देखा कि 1 इंच भी परिवर्तन अनिल जी में नहीं आया है. वैसे ही सेवा भाव, वैसे ही मिलना लोगों से, एक बार मिलने के बाद कभी भूलना नहीं आपको. गजब की मेमोरी भगवान ने दिया है उनको जो है. और रही बात अब कामों की चर्चा कर ली जाए तो दैट इंस्टीट्यूट was fully built up, developed, his support. Then he switched over to Govt IIT, which was also just on the verge of starting actually. And also there were no new campus. It was running from Institution of Engineers building. So there he took the position of Dean first, then Deputy Director, and established full shifting of the Govt IIT into the new campus. And almost you can say, right from the बरगोही साहब हो चाहे बरुआ साहब हों डायरेक्टर जो थे, उनके साथ बहुत मतलब कंधे से कंधा मिला के अनिल जी काम किए. और पूरा गुवाहाटी आईआईटी में हर आदमी जानता था कि सब जितना दिख रहा है इसके पीछे पीछे असली आदमी कौन है. करेक्ट. फिर सोचा ये कि चलो बहुत दिन हो गया, इधर में कुछ और सेवा दिया जाए. तो एक महाराष्ट्र में बहुत पुराना इंस्टीट्यूट था, COEP साहब वहाँ चले आए. वहाँ 10 साल डायरेक्टर थे. और COEP को भारत के टेक्नोलॉजी इंस्टीट्यूशन के राष्ट्रीय मैप में पहुँचा दिए. जो लोग जानते हैं टेक्निकल एजुकेशन को, उनको पता है कि COEP बहुत अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूशन था. उसको अनिल जी ने किसी भी अच्छे संस्थान के बराबर ला के खड़ा कर दिया जो है. इन ऑल रिस्पेक्ट, चाहे फंडिंग ले लीजिए, चाहे बच्चों को विदेश जाना ले लीजिए, चाहे कारपोरेट जॉब ले लीजिए, मतलब इन ऑल रिस्पेक्ट यू कैन से दैट डेवलपमेंट वॉज ग्लोरियस फॉर द COEP. सब फिर जर्नी आगे चालू हुई. AICTE का बहुत बुरा हाल था. आप सब जानते हैं कि AICTE के बड़े बड़े अधिकारी लोग कहाँ थे, उसमें क्या करते थे. बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज था. 2015 हमें याद है कि जब हमको मिला, पता खबर मिली कि अनिल जी दिल्ली पहुँच गए हैं, तो मैं किसी काम से गया था. तो मैं सोचा मैं आ रहा हूँ सर. तो रात को 8 बज रहे थे. मैं सोचा अब कौन मिलेगा ऑफिस में, दिल्ली जैसी जगह में. जैसे मैंने फ़ोन किया, बोले आ जाओ, मैं बैठा हुआ हूँ. तो 10 जनपद के बगल में कहीं, मतलब जनपद में रोड में ही कहीं ऑफिस था सर का. मुझे एक्चुअली याद नहीं लोकेशन, क्योंकि दिल्ली बहुत कन्फ्यूजिंग जगह है हमको वहाँ पे. तो मैं खोजते खोजते गया, सर मिले, अकेले बैठे थे, कोई नहीं था, केवल एक प्यून था बस जो है, और सामने फाइल का पूरा पहाड़ पड़ा हुआ था, देख रहे थे, पूरे सब खत्म करके तब चलना है। तो फिर हम दोनों गए, खाना वाना खाए, मिले फिर। सो अनिल जी ने उस AICTE को इतना डिजिटाइज कर दिया, इतना ट्रांसपेरेंट बना दिया कि पूरा इंडिया आज इस बात को कहने में गर्व महसूस करता है कि AICTE has changed entire its structure, course, all the processes, approvals, appointments, everything has been taken a new ways of doing the business there actually. और यही नहीं, हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छा काम किए। यहाँ थोड़ा सा रिकग्निशन की प्रॉब्लम हमेशा रहती थी NITIE को, हम लोग चर्चा किए, AICTE की बिल्डिंग मतलब ऑफिस यहाँ ला दिए जो है NITIE में। ये सब इन्हीं की प्रेरणादायी नेतृत्व का परिणाम रहा। फिर ऐसे और चर्चा चली, तो मैंने बताया सर कि हमारे यहाँ सीट रेशलाइजेशन नहीं है, अनिल जी ने उसको भी करवा दिया। और सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम जो चालू हुई IIM वाली, तो आई शेयर विथ यू फ्रॉम कोर ऑफ आवर हार्ट, द मेन पर्सन हु एडवाइज टू मूव ahead all these things अनिल जी। सो इन ऑल रिस्पेक्ट, फाइनली क्या होगा भगवान जाने। सो मैं आई कैन से, अगर हमको लीडरशिप डिफाइन करना पड़ता है तो मैं रामचरितमानस की एक चौपाई कोट करता हूँ कि मुखिया मुख सो चाहिए खान पान कर एक, पालय पोसे सकल अंग तुलसी सहित विवेक। मतलब मुखिया जो है, लीडर जो है, वो मुख के समान होना चाहिए, जो खाने और पीने में एक जैसा व्यवहार करे और जिस अंग को जितना पोषण चाहिए उसको डाइवर्ट करे। तो ऐसी प्रतिभा, ऐसी प्रैक्टिस मैंने पर्सनली 90 से लेकर के आज तक 32 साल हो गए, मैंने अनिल जी में देखी। तो हर तरह से आप देखिए, सोसाइटल एस्पेक्ट देखिए, टेक्नोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट देखिए, मैनेजरियल एस्पेक्ट्स देखिए, AICTE की प्रोग्रेस देखिए, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन देखिए। सो ऑल वर्च्यूज ऑफ a very well honored leadership, which you can describe and call it a word like distinguished leader, is fully ingrained naturally into the style of functioning of Anil ji. So from on behalf of, और बताएं आपको हम, not only this aspect, and many institutions where there were issues, problems, whenever they discussed with him, he gave such a wonderful suggestions that दोबारा उनको कहीं और जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी जो है। Always accessible with all kind of phone, message or WhatsApp. So I can say that fully characterizing and satisfying the what you call characteristics that we call as a distinguished leader, it is ingrained in him. So as a director of the NITIE and from all the entire NITIE fraternity, our beloved students, faculty members, everybody, the alumni who are very powerful in this country, and we should feel pride of their valuable contributions, which is flourishing in almost every walks of corporate actually. So they all, on their behalf also, we welcome the Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, and we feel enough, you can say, pride to confer him our this distinguished leadership award, which was decided from all corners in a very consensus manner. And with this note, I used to again welcome Anil ji to our platform, and hope that we all will be very much benefited by his interactions and talks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I now request Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, sir, to please come forward and welcome Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, sir, with a bouquet. Thank you, sir. On behalf of the team Lakshya, we also welcome our respected director, Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, sir. I request Professor Prof Iqbal, sir, to please come forward and do this honor. Thank you, sir. We also welcome the drive behind this event, Professor Prof. Iqbal Sir, Dean Student Affairs. I request Student Coordinator to please come forward and do this honor. We also welcome Professor V.B. Khanapuri Sir, Dean SRIC, and request Student Coordinator to please do this honor. Thank you, sir. I now request Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari Sir to present the prestigious NITIE Lakshya Distinguished Leader Award 2022 to Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe Sir. I now request Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe Sir to enlighten us with his words.
Very good afternoon to all of you. सब लोगों को प्रणाम नमस्कार. Professor Manoj Tiwari, Director of NITIE, Professor Prof. Iqbal, Dean Student Affairs, Professor Vivekanand Khanapuri, who is the Dean of SIRC, other deans, faculty members, students, maybe some of the alumni who may be watching now or later. My greetings to all of you on this occasion of Avartan, which is 23rd edition, which was told in the short presentation which was there. I could see the growth of NITIE from 1963 onwards. It has been a splendid 6 decades of existence, moving from glory to glory. It has come a long way to become probably in a very short time something similar to an IIM. It is already there, but it has to get this similar status. And for that, Professor Tiwari has been constantly engaged with the ministry in order to get that status, which was unfortunately missing. Even IIMs were created not by an act of parliament, but they all started as standalone institutions, started with Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Bangalore, and then later many of them. Around the same time, NITIE was also created, but somehow it had a different status and this remained a different status. One time I remember when I was a student in Hubli, people used to vie for getting into NITIE. It's very difficult and very huge high packages were also got by the students when they graduated from this institution. And this continues. I think there is a rich history which continues. And this festival which students have created about 2 decades, 20 years have gone by, and I am finding so much of richness, 1 full week of sports activities, cultural activities, business-related activities, where people from industry, they all gather here, and future leaders of industry will have solid interaction with all of them. And then the true leadership emerges from out of such interactions that happen on the campus. The leadership is not one which someone is born leader, but people get created as leaders based on the hard work, perseverance, passion, which they put in. With that practice, someone becomes one of the finest leaders, and that's what we find in industry. Those who become CEOs, those who become CFOs or CTOs, they all have gone through a cycle, and that is what has to be trained while students are still in their undergrad studies and postgrad studies. But Professor Tiwari, when started speaking about the entire journey of mine from 1990 onwards, when I came in contact with Professor Tiwari, it was like a flashback movie. You know, I had also forgotten some of the things which came in. You know, in most of the movies we see that some scene is going on and then there is a flashback. And it was absolutely a flashback scenario as to how things happened in a very remote place like Northeastern Regional Institute of Science and Technology. But there are various different stories through which this build-up happened, actually. So I would like to tell some of those things which will really make you understand the nuances of why something happens the way it happens. Why did it that I went all the way there? You know, that is very important to understand, and that is what I'm going to tell. But before that, for having selected me, nominated me for this Lakshya Distinguished Leader Award, from the bottom of my heart, I thank Professor Tiwari, Director of the Institute, as well as all the deans, HODs, the faculty members, students, who thought I'm fit for that. I have seen the list of stalwarts who received this award in the past. Compared to them, I'm not that a great achiever, but still, you selected me. So thank you very much for considering me for this honor. And therefore, I'm absolutely humbled. But I need to tell a story which is very, very important. I came from Hubli, the same place where your Professor Khanapuri, his father was the principal of the college where I studied engineering. That is the connect. I have some diploma, and those who complete and want to continue, further 2 years for getting a degree. So the degree was same 2 plus 4. Instead of that, it was 2 plus 2 plus 2. Degree was at the end of 6 years after the grade 10, class 10. So this was the system which was there. So I decided to join there, and then Tiwariji came in 1990. I was there from 1987 when the first batch was there. And there was nothing. There was no building. There was no hostel. We had another interesting fellow who is right now at Reserve Bank of India, IIT Kanpur, PhD in economics. We used to stay together with only 2 utensils. We used to cook our food, cook the food, rice, put it in the thali, again cook dal, put it in thali, mix it and then split it and then eat. Very interesting way. We innovated with only 2 burtons. How can 2 people cook as well as eat? So those were very interesting days when we spent in the northeastern region. But one thing which we found that most of the students there were all first generation learners. Most of them. Some of them, of course, from Assam or Tripura were having their parents having their education, but most others in tribal areas like Mizoram, Nagaland, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, they were all, their parents had never gone to the school, so they were first generation children, but absolutely enthusiastic in trying to learn something new. Huge, rich cultural heritage. We used to have every week some cultural event. I remember you are holding this Avartan. There must have been extravaganza last 3-4 days. You can see the rich cultural heritage of that land. All states have their own music, their own dance. Sometimes you must be seeing that in the TV. All of that we enjoyed. And then development of the workshop, development of the laboratories, that all went on. Professor Tiwari was very magnanimous in giving all the credit to me, but it was all faculty who were associated with the department. They were doing the work. Probably credit was coming without much effort to me. They were the ones who were doing it, and all of them. And the true leadership is take everyone along. We used to go for a cup of chai together outside, roadside ढाबा जैसे होता है वहाँ चाय पीते थे फिर आते काम करते थे शाम तक. Since we were all together, we were very close knit bond was there, not just amongst the faculty members, but also with the students, with the support staff. I remember we used to play cricket with student faculty team, student versus faculty, faculty versus staff, staff versus triangular series होता है ना T20 वैसे हमारा उस टाइम में मैच होते थे, कभी कभी फुटबॉल भी खेलते थे, and that was absolutely bonding together. Students also from all those 7 states started feeling one with all of us. I think that was the starting point why I had gone there all the way to the place. Otherwise, from Indian Institute of Science, all my batchmates, masters, PhD, after their PhD, they were all doing postdoc or job in US or some foreign country. But I was one who went to the remotest, most underdeveloped, as you say, part of the country, but was probably the most advanced in terms of culture, in terms of values. Another incident I would like to reflect was it gives us insight into in Mumbai, in Delhi, what we feel, think, and what people of that region, culture of that region talks about. First time when I said I went, I had 2 suitcases, little heavy, but all cloths and all that. Some books were also there. Books are very heavy. So from Guwahati, we went to the Itanagar. Bus stopped early morning. First shock of light would be at 4 o'clock, bus reaches there and there is bright light. It is actually local time wise 2 to 2.5 hours ahead of standard India time. Because sun rises from the east, it is the easternmost part of the country. So when it is 4 o'clock, sun has already risen. And I saw around where is the institute. They said nothing was there. They said go there. But these suitcases are heavy. I cannot. Can you imagine like this in Delhi or Mumbai that you keep the suitcase in the bus stop and go back? I was little not not really believing it, but I said there was no choice. I couldn't have carried that heavy bag, so I kept it. Went after 1 hour, I came. The bag was as it is. This is the honesty, integrity that I saw in the people of those tribal area, and that continues to be there today also. And therefore, whether we should call ourselves advanced or we should call them as advanced, as in a thought for all of us, a turning thought which we will have to understand. Well, after that, IIT Guwahati started, and I applied and I came to IIT Guwahati. There also the same struggle. There was no lab, nothing. From Institution of Engineers building operated. For laboratory classes, we had to go to Assam Engineering College or some other college. There is no laboratory, at least for mechanical. Electronics and computer had their own labs where they require tabletop equipment. We require big machines, so they were not possible. About 3-4 years down the line, campus came up. We were traveling every day from city. Quarters had not come up. Daily traveling by bus whole day and then come back. And that went on. And today, that was the sixth IIT. First 5 IITs all started from 1951 to 1962. Kharagpur IIT to Delhi IIT. And there was a long gap. 1995, this sixth IIT came up. Roorkee was converted to IIT. It was the 7th IIT, but 6th IIT was Guwahati. So naturally, all the IITs were supported by some country or other when they started. US supported Kanpur, Bombay was supported by Russia, Germany supported IIT Madras, Delhi was supported by UK, Guwahati IIT was supported by all other IITs and IITs. So we had faculty, all of them supporting the way how laboratories, workshops to be developed. So we had an exciting time going around the whole country, other institutions, learning from them, and then implementing them. So I'm today happy that if some of you had gone there or some of you are students from there, I don't know, you must visit one time. It is one of the most beautiful campuses, not just in India, but the world. Absolutely, you can Google and see the photographs and pictures of the campus. It's superb. There are 3-4 lakes, there are 3-4 mountains inside the campus. Brahmaputra, mighty river on one side. And the whole building's infrastructure, the way it is done in consonance with the nature, it has come off very, very well. So I continued, I became deputy director. And then suddenly one fine day, IIT Bombay director asked me to view my CV. I asked him why I am well settled, I am deputy director, good in campus had just come up, we are living happily. Why are you asking my CV? He said, there is a college in Pune, College of Engineering Pune. One time it was the second oldest college and some of the best engineers of the country came from that institute. Sir M. Vishweshwarya, the Bharat Ratna Awardee, he studied there from 1881 to 1884. 1881 he joined and 1884 he came out from there. And all the excellent, they're all going to be industrial engineers, entrepreneurs. So if one of them, out of all the students who came from India as an excellent entrepreneur, it is Sir M. Vishweshwarya. He is the one who started first Mysore soap factory, Bhadravati steel factory, the first Hydel power plant, first Mysore bank. You name it and he has done it. First agricultural university. So I think engineer par excellence and entrepreneur par excellence studied in that college. And then it went on, continued till 1950s. And then IITs came up, other institutes came up. So the importance of this institute went down. At least the 3 contemporary institutes which started around the same time. One of them earlier, that is Roorkee, became IIT. 2 of them later, that is B College Shivpur, which became IIEST now. And then the Guindy College, which is the Anna University. They all became at least university. This college has remained as college affiliated to earlier Bombay University and subsequently Pune University, and continuing to be governed by the curriculum of all the private colleges who are having what we call least common denominator. So you can't achieve excellence if you are not autonomous. And that was the status. And the chairman of the board of governors was none other than Dr. F.C. Kohli, the founder of TCS, who became the first chairman of the board. By giving autonomy to the college was to be developed. And he was unhappy about the way things were happening in the college. So he had told some 3-4 IIT directors to give someone from IIT system so that We will transform this institute. And all of them suggested my name. I didn't know any of these things. I came to know from Dr. Kohli much later. There was a sort of a nexus between 3-4 IIT directors to push me here into Pune from IIT for a variety of reasons, whatever. But I was not ready to accept, so I said I will not give it. नहीं तुमको देना पड़ेगा. So our Ashok Mishra, director of IIT Bombay, took my CV forcefully and then gave it. They called me for an interaction meeting, and there were 5-6 other candidates who were interviewed. I was kept aside. मैं इंटरेस्ट नहीं था, मुझे बुलाया और मुझे बाहर बिठाया. सब लोगों का इंटरव्यू हो रहा है, ये क्या हो रहा है? तो सबको इंटरव्यू हो गया. तो बाद में मुझे लास्ट में बुलाया. मुझे कुछ 1-2 क्वेश्चन ऐसे नाम के वास्ते पूछा. When are you joining? The next third question was, when are you joining? I said, तो मैं वापस IIT गुवाहाटी में डिप्टी डायरेक्टर हूँ. I have to take leave. They should permit me. I have just started the course. I have to at least stay there for 1 semester. नहीं, आप जाके वापस वहाँ डायरेक्टर को बोल दो मुझे छोड़ना है. He will leave you. ऐसा कभी 1-2 दिन में कोई रिलीव नहीं होता है. मिनिमम 1 month नोटिस, 3 month नोटिस, सब आप जानते हैं रूल्स रेगुलेशन. वैसे ऐसा नहीं होता है. अरे मेरा नाम बता दो. I didn't know who is he, how influential he would be. I never knew. But he was the one who was the founder of Tata Consulting Services with 6 employees, the man of vision. I think he's another one. Like Vishweshwaraya, another great visionary was FC Kohli, who even after retirement, Tata's allowed him to use Bombay House office as well as TCS office in the Air India building, 7th floor, where he was earlier sitting the same floor, same office. He continued till the age of 95 when he passed away about 1.5 years ago. That is the respect Tata's give him, because from 6 employees to 2.5 lakh employees, that is the journey that he had. But he used to tell, when I went there, he was already 85, 86 plus. So he was saying, have you done this? Have you done this? तो मैं बोलता था कि सर यहाँ गवर्नमेंट कल्चर है, थोड़ा धीरे धीरे हो रहा है, थोड़ा हम करेंगे. Sahasrabudhe, you have time. I am 86. I don't know how long I will live. And remember, I have not failed in my life any time. He did his early education in now Pakistan, of course, then India itself, before partition. He was born in much before independence. Then went to Queen's College, Canada, did his bachelor's in MIT, Massachusetts Institute, the post-graduation. And instead of living there, he returned to India, and the Tata Power was established, Hydel Power Plant. And that was the plant which was the first ever plant outside US to have digital control system. Not Germany, not Japan, not France, not Singapore, none of the countries in the world had automated digital control system. And that is why Mumbai did not have power failure. Your local trains continued to run without any problem because of the digital control system which he established in the early 40s. Imagine, that is how the Dr. F.C. Kohli was. And he is given the Founders Medal by the IEEE, one of the societies which is most prestigious in electrical and electronics engineering. He is respected that. And he was my boss. So every time he used to say this, you have time, you are young, you are 40. I am now already 86. I have no time. I never failed. Don't make me fail. And tears used to roll through my eyes actually. So that man with that passion, if he is saying, I must put in my much harder work. And we continued. And then finally, after about 5 years, when there was a semblance of transformation visible, Kohli then started appreciating what I was doing. Till then, he was all the time saying that you are not doing your job properly, you are not doing your job properly. So finally, he was convinced that things have changed. And then asked me, do you want to continue another 5 years? And I said, sir, IIT से deputation में maximum 5 साल allowed है, sir, 5 साल हो रहे हैं. Then one of the board members said, then you get absorbed here. So forget IIT job, live here only. Then I said, नहीं, IIT brand IIT है, तो मैं वहीं जाना चाहता. Then Kohli said, fine, that is not your problem. You want to be here or not, that you tell. Rules, regulation, मुझे मत बताओ. Then I said, I'm ready to stay here because we have consolidated development to some extent. But if it has to become robust, some more time is required. So one more term of 5 years, I'm willing. तो उन्होंने फिर बताया, फोन किया, मिनिस्ट्री में यहाँ वहाँ. I was the first exception that deputation was allowed beyond 5. Afterwards, many others have been started given, but that was the first test case which happened. And I continued there. It became one of the institutes within the top 15, 20, whereas it was earlier not even in top 50. Some of the things which our faculty did there is noteworthy. IIT started following it. And one incident I would just like to mention because we're talking about leadership awards. So what a leader must be, not only communicator, which I'm speaking now to you and communicating what are my thoughts. Similarly, communication also is in terms of writing. We write our project reports, our research papers. That is also communication. The third communication is reading also. Reading also is a communication. It's a communication from the written material or from the internet, absorbing that. And that is also very important because of late, there are several board meetings. Many of you from industry will be knowing that just about 3-4 days before an agenda item comprising 300-400 pages will come and you have to go and attend the meeting. You have to read through, flip through the pages. You don't have time to go through. So how 400 pages can be read, understood within half an hour is an art by itself. And that also all of you must start doing it. You know, you are going to be entrepreneurs, leaders, CEOs. Big material will come. How do you get the gist out of that? Very briefly. You know, that is another talent which is also communication. But the fourth important communication is the listening skills, which are difficult. Today in the classroom, attention span of students, 8 minutes. That's what is worldwide said. After 8 or 10 minutes, slowly students will take out their mobile, then they will start looking at Instagram or WhatsApp, Facebook or whatever it is. And that attention has to be retained. It's very difficult for students. When it comes to faculty members, if the student wants to ask a question, before the question is completed, after 2-3 sentences, faculty will say, "Baito, baito, मैं जानता हूँ क्या पूछना चाहते हो, अभी बताता हूँ आपको." Without fully listening, they also do it. When you go to HOD or deans, faculty receive the same. And when deans go to director, I don't know, the same thing will happen with the directors also. They hardly anyone listen. And therefore, one of the most important trait leadership should have is the listening skills. And I'm giving this example because it's very, very prominent and important. First year civil engineering student, Mr. Baviskar, he had gone to IIT Bombay for internship after the first year. Internships, you go to industry, some of them go to academic institutes. He had gone there. He had gone there because he was aspiring to become an IIT student. He appeared in JE, but somehow because his rank was low, he couldn't get it. Finally, he landed up in College of Engineering, Pune, not even computer science. He landed up in civil because he did not concentrate on CET, state entrance test. He had concentrated on JE. He failed there also, did not get here also. Very unhappy. But somehow he went to IIT Bombay for internship. Students there were having a project called satellite project. वो satellite launch करने के लिए कर रहे थे. उसके पहले 2 satellite student satellites were already launched. One was by Anna University. The other one was by IIT Kanpur called Jugnu. So IIT Bombay was doing a third one. उसका नाम प्रथम. वो प्रथम अभी तक गया नहीं, लेकिन उनका चल रहा था. वो स्टूडेंट ने वो देखा. He came back. First year student, imagine. फैकल्टी को जाके बात करने के लिए डर लगता है, तो डायरेक्टर के पास जाके बात करना है तो और भी ज़्यादा डर. तो मेरे चेंबर के सामने खड़ा था, बैठा था. मैं क्या क्यों है? नहीं सर, ऐसे देख रहा. मैं बोला अंदर आ जाओ. तो he came. He said that they are doing it, sir. Why not our college also do it? I said yes, we can do, we should do. But civil engineering first year student के बस का नहीं. इसमें बहुत सारी टीम बिल्डिंग करनी पड़ेगी. You require required to have electronics people, computer science, mechanical, metallurgy, production, manufacturing, सब लोग चाहिए. और फर्स्ट ईयर के नॉलेज के बेसिस पे तो होगा नहीं, इसलिए आपको थोड़े सेकेंड ईयर थर्ड ईयर स्टूडेंट भी चाहिए. तो यू बिल्ड ए टीम ऑफ अबाउट 20, तब हम देखेंगे उसको क्या कर सकते हैं. आई डिड नॉट से तुम्हारी बस का नहीं, जाओ. ऐसे बोलने से तो बेचारा दुखी होके चला जाता. तो उसने बताया ठीक है मैं देखता हूँ. तो उसने एक 15 दिन में, यू इमेजिन normally second year, third year students, what they do to the first year students, you know. This fellow was a first year student. He has to go and contact second, third year and convince them and get them to me. But he did it. In the next 10, 15 days he came back. He said, we have a now team of 25. All engineering disciplines are there. So we will do it. Said, ये तो गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज है, इतना फंड तो नहीं है हमारे पास, पैसा कहाँ से आएगा. जैसे हमने कुछ नेवल ऑफिसर्स वाइव्स एसोसिएशन होती है, तो जैसे आर्म फोर्सेस में भी एयरफोर्स वाइव्स एसोसिएशन होते हैं, दे रन देयर स्कूल्स एक्सेट्रा. So we have contacted them and they are ready to support some funding. The reason was, you all know, Mumbai में जो अटैक हुआ था, it came from the sea route, and if there was a proper warning in advance, if there was satellite communication between the sea, some of those fishermen who are there, they would have probably communicated and that disaster could have been averted. And therefore they are very proactive. They said they will fund to some extent. बोला तब ठीक. तो आपने सब फाइनेंस भी देखा. तो एंटरप्रेन्योर के लिए क्या क्या चाहिए, आइडिया चाहिए, अच्छे आइडिया के बाद उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए टीम बिल्डिंग चाहिए, टीम के बाद फाइनेंस चाहिए, मीन्स बिजनेस प्लान चाहिए, और उसके बाद कमिटमेंट चाहिए. ये सब चीज होता है तभी हो सकता है. तो इन्होंने स्टार्ट किया. और interesting story was, they started working. There was no faculty who knew anything about satellite. और source electronics communication department है, तो they knew communication part of it, but satellite building वो तो पता नहीं था. और पहले दो इंस्टीट्यूट जिन्होंने फ्लाई किया था सैटेलाइट थ्रू इसरो, they had already onboarded some retired scientists from ISRO. They had some backup. We had nothing. Our students started working using internet. यहाँ से डाउनलोड करो, ये स्टडी करो, वो करो, करते गए. And then we were writing as a director. I was also writing to ISRO. ISRO was not responding for good reason. These two satellites which were launched, they launched successfully, but the data which it would have probably given back, they were not tracking. वो बैच पास आउट हो गया, चला गया, उसके बाद उसका बाद में कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा. तो इसरो से हम इतना पैसा, आपका भी खर्चा हुआ, हमारा भी इतना मेहनत होगी, उसके बाद यदि there is no use of that particular satellite, then why should ISRO support student satellite group? And therefore they were not entertained. एक बार one of the ISRO scientists came, then he had a chat with our students. Then somehow he got convinced कि यहाँ कुछ दम है. The reason was, our students set up in the laboratory on the top floor of the metallurgy department, and they started tracking other satellites. और वो डेटा कैप्चर करके एक फाइल बना के भेज दी. तो अपना खुद का सैटेलाइट तो नहीं है, लेकिन आईआईटी कानपुर का सैटेलाइट क्या कर रहा है ये देख रहे. इसका मतलब यहाँ कुछ दम है, ये पता चला. तो दे इनवाइटेड आवर स्टूडेंट्स टू Bangalore Center ISRO. There was a group of 25 students with me. We all went there, and there was a full 2-day session. They interrogated our students like a thorough, solid viva. जो viva होता है एग्जाम में, आप जानते हो टीचर कैसे कैसे प्रश्न पूछते हैं. उनको भी खुद को कभी कभी आंसर मालूम नहीं होता है, लेकिन स्टूडेंट को जरूर पूछ लेते. वैसे इसरो के साइंटिस्ट ने भी बहुत सारे प्रश्न पूछे, तो हमारे स्टूडेंट ने जवाब दिए. So they were so much impressed. They said, for the first time we saw a team of students who, without any support from any faculty, any ISRO scientists, on their own they have done everything. अब से हम आपके साथ MOU करेंगे. उतने दिन हम बोलते थे हम MOU करेंगे, आप हमको अलाउ कीजिए. तो they were not responding. Now they started following back to me. आप जल्दी करो, हम COEP के साथ करना चाहते हैं. So that is the transformation which happened, because on the particular day in August, after the internship, that Bhaviskar came and he gave this idea. Had a leader not listened to the idea which came from there, it would have died its own death. It took, of course, 6-7 years, one batch to the other batch. They trained next batch of students, and finally, when that satellite was launched, and the name of the satellite was also Swayam. Swayam is the created by students. So that was absolutely inspirational story. So from there, when I came to Delhi, naturally I had all that background of nearest, how difficult our tribal areas are, and how there are no roads. Actually, today also people walk 2 days to go to their village. And in Guwahati, the development, how it has become now one of the best in terms of research. It is now amongst the top 6 universities of India, amongst the top 50 institutions which were started less than 30 years ago. It is ranked very high. So that is one. Then Pune experience. So when I came to Delhi for AICTE, it was embroiled in all kind of charges, counter charges. There were a lot of corruption cases earlier, CBI inquiries, and everyone told me, "Why are you going there? You know, it's a very dangerous place." You know, some of the professors had also said, "It is not worth going there because it's very difficult." I took it as a challenge, went there, and all this experience helped in having meetings with the stakeholders. What are their challenges? So meeting, correspondence, and interaction is one of the most important fundamental principles of leadership. If you do that and build your team out of that. And here team building was from the existing people, by motivating, by inspiring them quite often, talking to them. So on the corridors or while traveling in the lift or somewhere, chat with even an attendant. Each one should feel that they are part of the organization. Once people start feeling that they are one with the organization, magic starts happening. You don't have to do anything. People do it. And that is the real mantra of leadership. You take everyone along, make them feel them. And that is what we have done. One of the programs of AICTE of 3-week student induction program, which we have started for undergraduate students. When they come in, they come from different backgrounds. You all appear to be from well-off backgrounds. But in many colleges, we have found that students come from absolutely poor background. There are people from very rich background. There are students who come from rural areas, very remote rural areas, some of them from urban metropoles like Mumbai or Delhi. There are students who come from English medium schools. Some come from Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, Kannada, Urdu, whatever, the 10th, 12th standard in those. And therefore, they completely get lost. Students from rural, poor background, mother tongue studied students, in their first 1 week, even though they scored 85-90% in their 10th and 12th grade, they somehow suddenly start feeling not confident that they would be able to manage it, because some of the students from English medium, rich background, answer quickly anything asked by the faculty members. These people feel that this is not my cup of tea, and some of them lead to, you have seen, committing suicides also in the academic institution. And therefore, one transition which is required is, how do you amalgamate? How do you create collaborative approach amongst students? That is through a 3-week student induction program. Students are made to go through meditation, they are made to go through exercise, yoga, then you will be able to take the right decision. So a person will be given a lot of problem statements in the interactions during those 3 weeks. Make every student realize that every individual has something in him or her which is outstanding, but it has to be brought out. And that's what Swami Vivekananda always said. Each human being is born with some excellence. We don't know what is that excellence. Unearthing that, mentoring that, blossoming that is the role of the teacher, the head of the department, the leader. During these 3 weeks, people understand each other. That means a student from rural area knows how to do agriculture, how to do horticulture, how to toil the soil, and a city boy sometimes does not even know that the potatoes are from the ground or they are like fruits from the top of the plant. So that to that extent, or some of them will feel that they come from what? Where? Supermarket. So they are produced there, they sit. So from that onwards, making each other understand is a very important fundamental principle which need to be adopted. That is one. Internship being made mandatory. Faculty development programs, that is also made mandatory. Innovation in terms of Smart India Hackathon, which has become world's, what we say, largest open innovation model. I don't know, some of you, if you are engineering students, had gone through Smart India Hackathon during your college days. Problem statements from first hackathon, when we went through, we asked problem statements from the government departments. They said, we don't have any problem. Problem may be there for the people, why we don't have it. That's how bureaucracy works. We have to push them to give some problem statements. And when we gave it to students, we found undergrad students of second, third year, whom otherwise many times industry says they are not employable even after the degree. We have all seen the reports coming from CII, PICI, NASCOM, these bodies. They say graduates coming out from engineering schools, even arts college, commerce college, even engineering schools, they are not employable to the extent only 25%, 30% employable. Such statistics keep coming. But when you give challenge and you give opportunity, these very same students, not even after graduation, much before graduation, have solved some of the critical problems which ISRO had not been able to solve, which DRDO was not able to solve, which Ministry of Transport, Railways was not able to solve by third year, second year students. Can you imagine? And that is the talent of New India. You are all New India. And today, when Prime Minister Modi talks about Gati Shakti, Professor Tiwari is involved in that entire exercise of logistics, transportation. How do you do the activities in a manner that very fast transit of these goods, etc., can take place without perishing is a very important thing for the national development, whether it is road infrastructure, rail infrastructure, air infrastructure. There may be million problems in our country, but we have billion people. So solution for every one problem, there are 100 people who can solve that. So therefore, with that young manpower, which is more than 50% in the working age group, and very, very young students with brilliant ideas, which people of my age will normally think this is not possible. They will make it possible. And that is why you all students who are going to graduate from here, you have a bright, bright, very bright career, and India is the place. Many of my friends who went to US, etc., during those times when I did not, they are saying that we missed the bus. Today, if there are opportunities, we used to say that America is the land of opportunities. Today, India is the land of opportunities. India is the land of opportunities. Many times people laughed at some of the things which Prime Minister said. स्वच्छ भारत अभियान या क्या प्राइम मिनिस्टर टॉयलेट की बात करता है. But you imagine many of the girl students were not going to the school because of the problems which they had to face, whether it is periods or whether it is in terms of hygiene. Boys can go anywhere, but what about women? And therefore, that part. Then Swachh Bharat, that is, cities have started becoming clean. It has not still achieved the real target, but some of the cities like Indore, I am seeing, Bhopal, they have become very good, and we have to take a leaf out of that. That is one part. But the other part is the system of Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Startup India, very, very important for students of NITIE, because if India has to grow, we only should not depend on getting job, but how do we create jobs? Becoming an entrepreneur is very, very important. This particular festival, the last leg of it, where you are bringing in people from industry, you must understand the nuances of how do you build businesses, how do you become entrepreneur, how do you create startups. And we are very happy, despite pandemic of the last 2.5 years, which all economies of the world went down, we have started growing again. And most important, during pandemic, 40 plus unicorns were developed in this very country. Nowhere else that was possible. And therefore, we have very, very, very bright future for but individuals. But at the same time, all of you must remember, there are still people who live in poverty. There are still people living in rural areas without facilities. How each one of us, when we must earn good income. I'm not having any problem about ओनली सरस्वती, लक्ष्मी भी चाहिए। तो लक्ष्मी के साथ साथ जब लक्ष्मी आती है तो उसका उपयोग करके बाकी लोगों को भी सरस्वती का प्रदान करते हुए, ज्ञान प्रदान करके उनको भी लक्ष्मी प्राप्त करने के लिए मदद करने का जो हमारे अंदर में एक छिंगी यानी एक स्पार्क आप यदि यहाँ से लेकर जाएंगे, I think you will all be leaders and all of you deserve to be the distinguished leader awardees in the future. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. Now I request Professor V.B. Khanapure, sir, Dean SRIC, to kindly deliver the closing remarks.
Yeah, very good afternoon. Good afternoon, Sahasrabudhe sir, Professor Tiwari, Professor Rauf Iqbal, the deans here, the faculty here, the students. While Professor Sahasrabudhe gave the link what we have, I thought it's for me to reiterate one point, right? I am also the son of a professor, and what could be one thing which you are always targeted towards is the professor always tells who is the bright student, right? And he used to be our kind of reference point. And even to this day, I am telling you, sir, I don't know whether you are aware of, nobody broke your record to that extent. Continuously, all 10 semesters standing first in the university. Though it's not like in a state or the college kind of thing. Subsequently, some did have that mechanism, but that is completely different. So he is the first one who did that, and I'm very happy and proud to be his from the same institute where we come from. While he spoke about his journey, I did have very good interactions with Professor Sahasrabudhe. In fact, few things which come to my mind, right? These are very recent ones. When you look at systems being improved, and you need to have very good clarity in terms of what we want to achieve. And when I took charge as Dean Academic, it was one of those alumni meets. I happened to meet Professor Sahasrabudhe sir, and he gave me very clear direction, saying that, Vivek, this is how it has to be done. This is the only way if you want to be in this kind of system. That is where we actually had to come back and then relook at what are those processes we need to complete. And I'm really thankful to you, sir. That time your guidance did help us. And then we again got back to the point where we were missing certain things when I was Dean Academic that time. Then a few things I still remember in terms of the interactions when we went. I think we went to the AICTE office for some reason, and then I had a lot of other opportunities or occasions where I had visited, and probably none of you would have seen the kind of transformation an institution can go through. In fact, they have got the best of the technology instituted all under his leadership. I think during his last 7 years, 6 years, I think the complete transformation. Today, when we talk of any educational institutions, engineering college, we are talking of getting the AICTE recognition, getting those approvals and all those things. Everything has been done seamless and is everything on a digital platform. And I think full credit goes to Professor Sahasrabudhe sir to that matter. Other than that, he has talked a lot about his journey and the leadership part of it. Each one of us are aware, right? But one thing really really has caught my attention is uh, how we as faculty or teacher need to imbibe certain things in our students, and somebody sitting there visualizing and looking at things from a much broader, what we call it as a bird's eye view, and seeing what kind of pains the students go through. And this probably, I think, are some of these initiatives which were taken up or initiated during his leadership there, and that has really made a sea change as far as technical education is concerned. And today we are seeing good good quality technical education. In fact, in many institutions, we are seeing bright students coming out of that, starting their entrepreneurial journey, contributing not only to the education field but also in the industry field. In fact, the foundation on which the entire thing gets built up, full credit goes to him. In fact, I'm very happy that we have two leaders sitting here who have worked very closely. And some of those characteristics which Professor Sahasrabudhe was talking about in terms of interacting, and I see a lot of similarity with our director also to an extent. In fact, he has been, I don't know how many of you have been interacting with him closely. So uh, his doors are 24 by 7 open. So I think we should be uh, seeing those kind of traits there, and lot of learning for all of us, and with the vision with which we have all started, and we are hoping soon will also become an IIM. I'm sure with each one of us playing our own role, I think with leaders like Professor Sahasrabudhe coming and giving their blessings, I'm sure we'll soon achieve those targets and make ourselves a great mark in the history of management education going forward. Thank you very much, sir, for coming here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Professor Utpal Chattopadhyay, Associate Dean, Student Welfare and Hostel Management, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe sir, Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, Director NITIE, Professor V.B. Khanapuri, Dean Sleep, Professor Rauf Iqbal, Dean SA, my faculty colleagues, registrar, officers and staff, students of NITIE. It's my pleasant duty and privilege to propose formal vote of thanks in today's Avartan Distinguished Leader Award function. In fact, I feel all of us are very lucky and privileged to have witnessed this moment where one of the eminent educationists from the country, in the form of Professor Sahasrabudhe, he has come and accepted our invitation. And we have tried to honor him, but I think we feel honored that he has accepted our invitation and taken this award. What Professor Tiwari and later on Professor Sahasrabudhe was describing his journey, I think it's a very inspirational story from where all of us, students, teachers, can learn a lot. In fact, I was thinking that it said that sun rises in the east, and we saw the emergence of a leader, particularly in the field of education, and more particularly in the technical education, rise of a leader from northeast. But unlike the sun, naturally when it travels to the west, it sets, it loses its energy. But in case of Professor Sahasrabudhe, we found when he traveled to Pune College of Engineering via IIT Guwahati, his energy, his enthusiasm, his lights remain intact. In fact, with his light and energy and enthusiasm and leadership, the COP has been transformed and at a stage what it is today. Sir, thank you are very few words to describe, which cannot actually do justice to the contribution that you have made to our country's education, particularly the technical education and higher education. Sir was mentioning during his speech that he did not travel to US, which most of the students in his time or the current time aspire to do it. Sir, I feel our country is lucky that you did not travel to US. You remain in India and transform the education and higher education what it is today. Thank you, sir. We hope that you will guide us, inspire us, and you will further take us to our journey. And we are hoping that we will soon become IIM Mumbai, and we need your support and guidance further. Whenever we talk about our director, sir, our beloved director, sir, Professor Manoj Tiwari, sometimes I lose my words. Sometimes all of us wonder that how a person can be so energetic and enthusiastic. Professor Khanapuri was mentioning that his doors are always open. Yes, he is one director whom anybody can meet at any time. In fact, we all know that he works till late evening, late hours of the early morning. And sometimes we think that if all of us can emulate or follow some of his footsteps and put our energy and enthusiasm, I think we can take our institute to much greater height what it is today. In fact, this Avartan event, during this Avartan event, he has supported us all through. And of course, Avartan is no exception. He always supports us. And he helps us, he leads us, and always leads from the front. Sir, thank you very much and hope we will receive your support and blessings. Professor G.V. Kanapuri, Dean Sri, during his last few years tenure as a Dean Sri, earlier he was Dean Academy. We have always seen that how enthusiastic he is. And recently, by his personal effort and the guidance of our director, sir, the kind of industry linkages that we have seen, I think it has never happened ever. Of course, NITIE is known for industry linkages, and he has always supported us during the conduct of this event. Thank you, sir. The person who is working tirelessly and seamlessly to make this Avartan successful is none other than Dean Student Affairs, Professor Rao Pickler, sir. Though he has taken over as a Dean SA recently, and I have been working with this department for quite some time. I was actually watching and seeing him very closely. I think he has also having that tremendous kind of energy and enthusiasm to work and make every event, everything perfect. I think some of the energy and enthusiasm I was talking about our director, sir, has already started percolating down to some of us. Professor Rao Iqbal is one of them, definitely. Thank you, sir. The team of Avartan is, of course, a lot number of people are working. I myself is one of them. Professor Megha is there, Professor Sumi is there, Professor Neeraj Pandit is there. And also we are getting the support from every faculty. Professor Himadati Madam was the student affairs. Anytime we sought any help, any guidance, he has always come forward and helped us. So I thank all my faculty colleagues who have been supporting us to make this event successful. The administration department led by our registrar, Dr. Basavara Swami, the office of the director, the office of general administration, the student affairs department, the office of estate, all these departments have supported us wholeheartedly, and that's why the function has come to this stage. And of course, today is the first day of the event, and sports and cultural events have already been over, but it will go till next Saturday. So I thank all the departments who have supported us. But I think I'll be failing in my duty if I don't mention the contributions of the students and the students team, the particular the team Avartan. Last few days I've been witnessing the kind of hard work they've been putting, and to make this event successful and make the event take the event to a greater heights. And there is a team which have been working, and they have been given several tasks, and every member of the team has been working day and night to make this event successful, because our Avartan has a rich legacy. It has been in the 23 years, and every year actually we are inching further, inching forward to take it to the greater heights. And I thank all the students, all the student committees, teams, and the students in general to make the Avartan successful. Lastly, if I have forgotten to mention any of the name, please forgive me. I know all the students, all the faculty members, our staff, our officers, deans, associate deans are working and helping us, guiding us, and to take Avartan what it is today and take it forward. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. To keep a memory of this event, we would like to request Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, sir, to give a token of memory to our esteemed guest, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, sir. With this, we come to the end of this splendid event. I will request you all to please stand in honor of the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष पावे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 जय
I request all the students to please be seated till we escort the guest. Thank you and have a great day.